This is my pets at home Foxglove guinea pig house. It says rabbit hutch or rabbit house on there as well, but as they are not very tall rooms, I would suggest not using this for rabbits. But guinea pigs, this is really good. I have 2 guinea pigs which live in here, and this is their little bedroom. This part, as you can see, I've just like zip tied things on there for their water bottles. They have 2 water bottles. That's the upstairs. This is the downstairs. They have nibbled the stairs, but that is sort of to be expected when you have guinea pigs. And this is the other side. This is where their second water goes. This is the other side. This is like their favourite area. This is where the little heater is here. And I'm going to show you how I take care of my hutch, look after it and keep it nice and clean and dry for them. I start by using Clean and Safe. This is just a spray that I will spray around the bottoms of their hutch, keep them all the way, keep it from like all the dirt and stuff that they accumulate. Still needs a spritz, and I will come back in a second. After the spring cleaning, the next step is to put down some of these. I'm currently using puppy pads, just from B&M. They're the ones that I use, and this just makes sure like that any wee that does get through other layers is soaked up and doesn't get down to the wood. It's probably not the most eco-friendly, but it is meaning that it's just keeping the wood safe. Here I have had to, you just have to rip like 1/3 of the way down between the 2 squares at the back of the puppy pad, and then we took them little bits down in a minute. Right, now for the next layer. My next layer is Megazorb. So this is for mainly, I think, for horses, but it is a really good dust-free way of getting a nice layer down, super absorbent, and I find it really useful. I only have to I'd say change pieces of this rather than with sawdust. It doesn't really stay nice and fresh as long as Megazorb does, and I will come back to you in a second. The Megazorb is now down. I put it I go for about 1 centimetre thick in the places, like at the back there, that's quite thick. That's more than 1 centimetre, I'd say, just because that's where they like to sleep. So that's where it needs the most urine's going to be produced. So that's where I'm going to be like spot changing that quite often. So I just put a bit more there because it's going to need to soak up more. I do not put any Megazorb in this area, as the guinea pigs, my little piggies, they don't seem to like to stay here for very long. This is just like a corridor. They never really sleep here. They don't wee here that much, so it's not like a place of high need for absorbency. So I just keep that little layer down and on to the next. My piggies love these fleecy blankets. I just been collecting them from charity shops, so some of them are a little uglier than others. They're all quite eclectic from anywhere that sells them, really. They're not the super fluffy ones or anything, they're just like thin fleece liners, because I don't want, the idea is to make sure that they collect the poos only, and I don't want them to be absorbing the pee too much, so the pee will kind of soak straight through this and into the Megazorb, and if it was a big one or whatever, onto the puppy pads underneath, just making sure that the guinea pigs have got somewhere snug to sleep and they're not breathing in or having loads of Megazorb. Like, I don't think that would be very good for them to be breathing or anything like that, so I just keep it separate with some nice fleece liners. In the outdoor hutch and in the conservatory little run that I have, I use cardboard boxes mainly. I don't really buy things especially for my guinea pigs. I like to just use like boxes, containers, things that we've had, just to give them a few more different areas to run around. But in this outside hutch, I've noticed that without me keeping an eye on the boxes, they can move around a bit easily, and I need something which is a bit heavier to stop a guinea pig possibly getting trapped. Like if they pushed a box against here and got trapped in this area without any of the water. So in my outdoor hutch, I like to keep these just like log tunnels. It's good so that no piggy is getting like trapped inside a hidey or anything. They're just tunnels, they can go in and out as they please, and it just keeps them nice and snug. Next is the hay. I found the cheapest way to get hay is to actually buy it in bulk from a farm shop. So I keep mine in like a huge container here with all my other little piggy things, and this just keeps it safe and from the rain. But I also store the bit that I require in a little plastic tub, so I don't have to keep going into there, especially if there's any snow or anything on the top. I don't want the possibility of any of my hay getting wet is too high. Ignore the mess, we are currently renovating, doing building work. So anyway, back to the hay. My personal preference is to put hay just around some of the tunnel exits or entrances, so they have little places to lie down. Obviously I don't want to put any near the water, so one of the water things is here, and I don't want the hay to get wet if it accidentally touches the water bottle. So I put some here, being careful of the heater. We don't want to completely cover the top of that. And here in this area I tend not to put hay, so I did have a hay rack here, but I've not really used it for a while. Just because I don't want them to, I don't know, get their head in their hay and stuff and fall down here. It's not like it's a great big drop, but it's still something I worry about, so I tend not to put hay in this area. Perhaps that's why they don't really like chilling up there. It's just kind of like a corridor from one area to another. Yeah. So, it's time for the piggies. Here's Lydia. Super chill mama pig. And she is straight into the hay. Yeah, we see you. And here is Fizz to join the team. And that is how I change my guinea pigs out. The hutch itself has, I say, like, it's got a heater through the back. It's got the thermal cover on it. However, I do not really recommend these. Like, if there was another option, I would take it, because as you can see here, I've had to make an adaptation because the zips like fell apart almost straight away on mine. So on here I've just sewed it closed and made a little like thing at the end there to stop me from accidentally unzipping it or it coming unzipped again. And on this side I have put a piece of like tarpaulin, like see-through tarpaulin, to the best of my ability there, and I have velcroed it onto here. It was velcroed on this side as well, but it kept on sticking. It's just to keep the rain off them and make sure there's no drafts coming through at all. The sides do velcro still, which is great, but as you can see, this type of covering rips really easily. So these are quite expensive as well to replace, so I wouldn't really, if you can get a different type of covering for the top of this, when money permits, I will be getting a different one as well. But yeah, so that is them. I'll go grab their water bottle for there, get that in there, and then they are all snugged up for the night. And that is how I do my guinea pig hutch. And and here's Lydia to come to say goodbye. See you later.